Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I discovered an issue with this QiDi Pro. This is the second time it's happened while feeding. There's a jam in there already. And this happened to me the first day I had it. So I didn't think nothing of it. I took out the parts off and unclogged it. But now it's happened again. There is no way for me to get this filament out of there without loosening up the sensor here and taking out the extruder. And then I could turn the wheels right here. Because whatever reason going on in there, this feeder for the filament does not work too well. Never had an issue with this guy. It always feeds right. It always purges. I put in filament, it grabs it, and never had that issue with it. This guy it's kind of annoying. I might have to contact the manufacturer because I might have got one with the bad extruder head or something. This is the second time I'm about to take this apart. You have to loosen up two screws below the sensor right here. There's a screw here and there's a screw on the other side in here. And then you have to take out these two screws. These two screws right here. Sorry, my camera worked, but I'm holding a cell phone doing this. So I could turn the wheels on the extruder. The feeder for the extruder's assembly. And it's annoying. Very annoying. So I'm about to take these screws off, pull it down. It's got to come completely off, which is a really annoying part. So I could get these two wheels here. There's a wheel here, and there's another wheel here that turns. My phone is not capturing. There it is. In there. It's in there, and I had to do that again. So it is quite annoying to have to do this. This is the second time after 3 filament change. So that means I'm getting one good and another bad feeding. So not a good thing. Love the printer. It works perfectly fine when it's working with the extruder system. Prints really well, but this unit here is an issue. So I'm gonna take it apart. Let's see if I could do this one-handed and keep filming. Gotta remove these two screws. Should just get a hodl and do this if I'm not to do this too many times. And eventually this will get ruined because these are injected molding parts. So I do not want to be doing this more than 3 times. And take this out. This guy out too. Pull the extruder assembly down, and there's my filament stuck there. There's filament there, and there's filament on the top stuck as well. Very annoying. So you got filament there and filament in the extruder, which I need to trim that down. Let me get my cutters, because this happened before. So I had to do this very carefully not to ruin the extruder assembly. Flashing it out. And let's see if the wheels turn out that I did that. Now it's really stuck. This is not gonna be fun. So I might actually have to disassemble the whole thing to get. Yep, that means I'm gonna have to remove the pins, the bore. That's enough. I sound a bit frustrated because I am now. Because this is the second time I had to do this, and you have to be really, really careful taking these things out. Good. They're very, very tight. Let me see what other screws I need to remove. Not exactly the thing I wanted to be doing on a Friday night. And I do have to work tomorrow, so I wanted to do something nice and print a part for one of our new cars for the Silverado back that it needs. And now I can even do that. There we go. Finally got it to loosen up. So you got to loosen that up. I didn't have to unplug the cable this time. Loosen that up so you can get the wheel to work. And there it is. Oh, my microphone just dropped. And I got to find it now. So if you guys don't hear me, I might yell. I gotta find my Bluetooth wherever it went. Okay. Anyway, hopefully you can hear me. I have sound. I'm gonna get off my Bluetooth then. Okay, folks, I'm back. I'm back. My Bluetooth fell off my ear, so it disconnected my hearing. And now I loosened this part up so I could get the wheels turning on the feeder extruder assembly. And I was able to get it to move. So you have to loosen this up, and and take all this apart so you can remove the jam. Something in there is not putting the filament where it needs to go, and there was nothing wrong with that piece of filament I just took out. It was cut the way it should be cut, the way I always cut it, the way it always gets fed, just like this. At an angle, and then it gets fed here. So I'm gonna try this again, and like I said, I don't want to be doing this too many times, because these are injector molded parts. Some of them do have grommet, but you know what? I am just gonna disassemble the whole thing, because this happened the second time already, and I need to find out what's going on so I can let the manufacturer know, because this is just something that nobody else is having an issue but me right now. And it's pretty annoying. You have to be so careful with these wires. I need to tighten this up a bit again so I can pull the wire out and remove the direct drive from it, so I can see what the issue with the gears is. It doesn't want to take the filament all the time. It just keeps, I don't know, it keeps routing it somewhere else, not where it needs to go. So we're gonna take an in-depth look in this guy right now. It's gonna be a longer video. You have to be really careful with these wires. They're super thin, and I got really big fingers, so this is not really helping me right now. Okay, time for tools. Let's see what we could do here. And this is the danger of doing this all the time, that things are gonna get wore out doing this all the time. Not something you should be doing with a brand new printer that only has, what, maybe 30 hours of use that I used so far, and having this problem. So could just be me. Hopefully nobody else is having this problem, but it is a problem. And it's a problem that's more of an annoyance, and I have to double check if these screws are going into the injected molded part, because if they are, then that's going to be a really big issue, taking them in and out all the time, and I do not want to be doing this all the time. And now they do have grommets in there, so that's a good thing. I need to find out what's going on in here. And obviously you can't see anything inside this guy. It is so tied up, and I do not really feel like taking this thing apart. Okay, well, let me make some space here. Try to get this guy. Sorry for the video quality, but I am holding a cell phone doing this. And I have my other work bench filled up right now. So, here it is. Something's going on here. I don't want to lose that. Okay. Oh, give me a second here. I gotta get these parts put together. Don't want to lose part. Where's my magnetic little tray? There we go. I love these little trays. $2.99 at Harbor Freight, and it does the job really well to keep your parts put together. It's magnetic. You could attach it anywhere. Of course, the screws, aluminum coated in plating, figures. Another reason why you wouldn't want to be taking this apart all the time, if they're using aluminum screws, they're gonna get ruined. The threads are gonna be gone soon. So this has 1, 2, 3, 4 screws to take out, and a lot more going on there. Sensor right here, which this sensor seems to be useless to me because it's not doing anything about it. It's not even telling me where it's jamming. So I'm not sure what the heck. And I don't seem to, I had to look more into the Clipper software that comes with it so I can see if it's even enabled. I heard that it might not be enabled, so you have to enable it yourself. I gotta get this cable out of the way. That's what happens when you have a full shop. One too many printers, too much stuff to do, and a full-time job and kids. So this is a hobby for me, so I don't mind tinkering a little bit. There, it spins really smoothly. You can see everything moving. It's just something in there. It's really causing a fuss in there that it does that. It's really fussing it up. It's not grabbing right. Here's where the filament is supposed to be grabbed and filled in, right in here. It has the grooves in it for it, but some things might not be aligned. Not sure what's going on with this guy, but this guy is misfitting. And is there some kind of glue on here? It seems that there's some kind of glue holding these down. More tools. Gotta get tools. Let's see, what do I have here? this guy right here. Yep. Okay. Here we go. Let's see what's going on here. I am gonna have to disassemble it. And thank God those are metal screws, and I have to make sure that they're the same length. So I'm taking out. Whoa, this wasn't even tightened at all. That might be my problem. These screws are not even they're not tight at all. Okay, top screw. Bottom screws. That's a little tightened, but the top ones were not tightened at all. Okay, that might be my issue. It's not holding the filament right because it's not tightened enough. Let's see this guy here. Oh, this guy's not even tightened at all. This thing would have fallen apart on me eventually. Oh, that's just great. Good thing this happened to me now. That way I can actually check it and do some corrective maintenance on this guy. Because this is the last thing I wanted to be doing right now. And I have to be really careful not to have that spring fly out on me or mess anything else up while I'm doing this. No, this is not gonna be as easy as I thought. Okay, so it has guys in it. Okay, let's see, I see that. You have to be really careful getting this guy out. Oh yeah, no, that's a problem. Yep, that's a major problem. The whole assembly is coming out. And I'm stuck now. Wonderful. Just wonderful. Hopefully that spring doesn't just come out flying out of there. This is really annoying now. Okay, there's the feeder. There's where the filament path is going down. And I need to get some filament so I could run it through and see what's going on. What do I have? I should have some filament that should be almost finished. Oh, there we go. That'll do. Wow. It's got this guy, so I can feed it in there. Okay. And I need to see what's going on here because it makes... Okay, so it should be grabbing it and putting it right in this hole like it's going through when the gears are grabbing the filament. It should put it right in there as I'm doing with my finger. And I don't... I see the issue. Okay. That injector molding part right here is... Oh, great. Bearing came out. Not what I wanted to do right now. Come on, get back in there. Yeah, this is no fun. This piece where it feeds the filament here is part of the injected molding. Which, I 3D printed parts like this before for my best slingers and didn't have an issue, but I did have to sand some of it or file some of it out, so it's a little bit bigger than it's supposed to be, so it doesn't get stuck, because right there is perfectly aligned and it's getting stuck. It's stuck right there, so it won't feed, and you have to force it to feed into that hole. Okay, so you have to be perfectly aligned. This is gonna be a nightmare to put back together. Yep, not what I wanted to be doing right now. Not at all. Come on, go back in there. Get back in there. Nothing fell out. So it was loose from the start. That's problem number one. And then the alignment issue, I could see what's going on. Okay. Too bad this unit doesn't come with a reverse to kick the filament out. It only goes forward, and there it goes. So if it misses it, it's not as easy for it to go in. You have to have a perfectly straight piece of filament. And the gears, there it goes again. Now it caught it. So there's two. Let's see. Can I do it again? And there it goes. So let's see if I could tighten this up into place. Hopefully nothing else. Be very careful, guys, taking this guy out apart. Do not recommend taking this guy apart unless you have some experience. I've been working on 3D printers for almost 3 years now. And I disassembled and upgraded all my best slingers. Watching Bot Mod and 3D Print SOS and Chris's Basement. I started with those guys, and now I'm following some of the other guys like Uncle Jesse. Watch his videos too, but his videos are not too mechanical. It's more use the printer. They're not troubleshooting videos, which there's nothing. I'm not knocking it at all. Everybody has their way of doing things. Just saying. I like the guys that actually get into the troubleshooting more, of course. Nothing wrong with Uncle Jesse. He has a lot of good content. Seems like a great guy. Just I'm a tinker. I troubleshoot. Went to engineering school. Military. Combat engineer. And ranger and other stuff. So stuff I can't say. But okay, let's see how to test this guy out a bit more. Because now it's actually tightened. Before, all I had to do was just twist this and the screws were coming right out. And now it seems like it's feeding better. And you got to keep in mind, I almost lost a bearing in there. So you got to be very careful taking off this injector molding parts. Because if you scuff it, ruin something in it, they're not as easy to replace. I could probably have this made in metal, but it's going to cost me $300 to have this re-engineered. I could re-engineer it and have it made in metal, but it's going to cost money. And I see why they will do this. Industrial machines, these parts are actual metal. But this is not an industrial machine. There we go again. Let's try it again. There we go. Now it seems to be feeding perfect. Okay. It's feeding no matter what I do now. So yeah, that was the issue I had. These 4 screws were loose. This was the only one that was somewhat tight. These were completely loose, and that's where the filament path starts. So if the gears are not grabbing it tightly, it's not going to grab the filament right every time. And you don't need to make it super tight. It has the grommets, but you don't want it over there. It just needs to be tightened. And that's all. And they weren't. That wasn't tight either. That one either. Okay. Know they rushed these units out, but just a few more seconds on certain things that needs to be touched up a little bit. This is completely loose. And I'm not sure what the heck this screw does. I'm not going to tighten it any more than that, but it's tight now. This machine moves really fast, and there's no need to have loose screws in it at all. Something that moves the head is fast, and the extruder should not have any loose screws. They should have Loctite in there. If I had to ever take this apart again, I might have to Loctite. But if I have another issue with this guy, I am gonna email the manufacturer. Now this video is going kind of long, but I gotta put it all back together. Here we go. I gotta put this screw back where it came. So that was my issue. I had to take it apart. This time I had to take the whole unit apart completely to get it to work. And thank God I did it. So let's get back here. And I'm gonna put this back together where it belongs, up there. And like I said, there are grommets, but I wouldn't depend on them being too solid in there, so don't over tighten it too much, but it needs to be tightened. Okay, now I'm gonna put the foam down for a bit while I work. Let's see if I could just aim the camera that way, and you guys can see what I'm doing. Because now I have to do this. Put it back in there again, put everything back again, and try to print my ASA print that I wanted to do, that I need to do. So here we go. Don't ever put the first screw in all the way until you get the second one in. There's gonna be misalignment issues if you do that, and you could definitely thread the threads in there, especially on an injecting molded part. So it has to be done like a tire. You have to go back and forth between the lugs, between the screws, and tighten it the right way. And of course, this means tightening, not try to break it into a tightening spot. You need to do this gently. Inject them all the parts. It moves fast. You just want to make sure that it's there. Okay, let's put it all back together. Okay, this guy goes back in there. I need to cut that out a little bit more flush. Gotta cut the filament a little bit. There it goes. Okay, here we go. Now you actually get to see the whole extruder assembly. There's a ceramic heater in here, and there's a sock I'm not gonna take apart right now. If I have to do this again, then I'll do a more in-depth video in it. But for right now, this is all I want to do. I do not want to keep taking this thing apart. It's the last thing I want to be doing, taking this guy apart. Just got it, and this is the second time I had to take it apart. So if QiDi Tech says this, guys, you guys gotta figure this out. Because a brand new person to 3D printing is gonna leave you a really bad review on this. And I will consider this a review of what happened right now. And I am reviewing the hot end right now pretty much because I had to take it apart. It's built nice, sensors, everything's nice. Somewhat easy to work on. But again, it's proprietary. I cannot say proprietary. Anyway, it's your unit, your design. That part could have been done better. Somehow the wheel could have some kind of access to turn these wheels here. This could have been open somehow, or some kind of flip, but it is what it is right now. Just want to get the printer printing. I like the printer. I like the features. They're not like what I just discovered at all. You have to make sure you put a little bit of pressure, make sure you don't break your heater block right here. You do not want to do that. I push very lightly to make sure the holes are lining up. And again, I'm not screwing one screw in all the way. I'm doing a little bit at a time to make sure everything's getting threaded right and it feels right. Because aluminum screws on aluminum parts on injected molded parts, you have to be careful. Okay, there we go. Here we go again. And that's tight as it should be. There we go. Alright, that's all put back together. Gotta put a wire back in there. Rerouter underneath, there's a little clip back here. And very carefully, fat fingers here, get this in here without messing up the wires. And we will try this again in a minute. Alright, let me give it power before I put the cover back on. And we will see how this guy's working again. Okay, here we go. It's getting power. Just want to make sure everything, before I cover it, everything's doing its thing. And there's a little lint here. I want that in the fan. Wow. The hell, that's a piece of hair, and it's not my hair. Definitely not my hair. Somebody's. That is not my hair. Wow. Interesting. Good thing I discovered that too now. That would have been an issue. That's supposed to be cooling off the heat block. And it looked like it's got all kinds of hair in it. Okay. Well, let's get that out. It's almost hard to see, but I could see it with my naked eye. So, let's see. Make sure this guy's such a clean now. Yeah, there it is. Nope. What's going on here? That would have definitely put a stop to the fan. That was a lot of hair. So whoever was putting this together, either they were losing their hair. I don't know what the heck was going on, but that's not good. Okay, put the cover back on and try this all over again. Sure everything aligns. Yep, everything's aligning right. And let's feed the filament again. There's my little zip tie that I put on to keep it from scratching the top of the top cover, because it was scratching it pretty bad. And it doesn't interfere with the print. It doesn't really do anything to anything. This is just PFT. So we will try this again. Okay, there it is. It's fed. What's going on here? There's a bit of trash in there. Okay, well, that's good enough. I'll empty that bin in a bit. Alright, so we'll do it now. Just slide it up. There's not much in there. Alright. Okay. Wish me luck, guys. It's getting ready to load. Just follow the instructions. And that's all we could do. Close the cover. And let me make sure the filament's nice in there. And you gotta keep doing this until it tells you that it's completely heated up. Let me turn this light off. There we go. It's heating up right now. This video is taking longer than I expected, but I had to take the extruder head apart and the heat block. So, okay, next, let's do this. I guess you have to hit next. It says heating up, but you literally have to tell it to go next so it can actually start doing it. So another thing I discovered that's a little weird. It says heating up, but you have to actually hit the next button to get it to heat up. Now this is going into a pretty much full-blown review now of how the machine's working. Other than this couple of issues, and also not having a carbon filter built in that I've had to print and make my own carbon filter. And also this guy here, you'll find it on, what is it, printables, QiDi filament holder. Works beautiful. 80% infill on a PLA plus, working just fine, no problems at all. You could literally grab that guy and hit somebody and knock them out. It's like a club. I actually have another one. I have a red one that I printed. This thing is completely solid, very solid. All right, let's go retry again. Okay, I'm having that issue again. You gotta be kidding me. If I have to take this apart again, I am not gonna be happy. No way. It did it again. Filament stuck again. This is unbelievable. Now, I am not happy at all. You have got to be kidding me. It's completely stuck again. I don't recommend you putting your head near that guy. The fan's working, but if you could hear that tick, 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 you can see it. It's trying to grab the filament and I can't pull it out because it doesn't have a reverse function. Okay, so it seems that this printer is going to be dead in the water now, because this is becoming a quality issue, and that I'm going to have to talk to the manufacturer now, because I cannot get this filament out of there now. There is just no way for me, and I have to be really careful that my finger doesn't go in there, because that is very hot. 250 C right now. Very dangerous to do this like this, but this guy's not moving. Every time I try to load it, pull it out, it's not gonna happen. It tries to do it, but it's not doing it. You hear that sound? That's it. Grabbed the filament, but it's not releasing it. So I'm gonna have to go through this step all over again. The video ends here, because I'm gonna have to do that all over again and contact the manufacturer, because this is not working. Nothing's completed, nothing got accomplished right now. Did a lot of ABS prints with this. Not just these small parts, but there were bigger parts that I don't have here that I'm actually using at work. And I can't believe this is happening now. So that's the end of the video. If anybody else has this issue with the extruder slash direct drive? Let me know. Put it in the comments. Good night.